Afternoon folks, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. So I've about done as many trout flies as I need to do at the moment. I thought I'd take a little break and start to top up a few flies for hopefully the spring summer bass fishing, which we get on this coast here. We don't get much of a shot at it, but it can be good when we do. So this fly here that I'm going to be tying up is probably one of the best known saltwater baitfish patterns. It's the Clouser Minnow pattern that comes from the States from a chap called Bob Clouser, and it's great for every predatory fish that swims freshwater and saltwater. It just ticks the boxes. But over here it's a fly that I use in the estuary for and around the estuary for bass, and they absolutely love it. So we'll just crack on and get straight into it. This hook and the vise here is a size 2 Mustad stainless saltwater hook. It's a 34007. I'll put the description, the link down in the description again as always. It's just a good workhorse for a hook. You know, you can spend quite a bit of money on saltwater hooks, but I find this is fine for the bass fishing. Thread I'm going to be using is UTC 140 in white. So let's get that caught on straight away. If you enjoy the videos, as always, don't forget, click subscribe, click like, click the little bell icon down there. You'll get notified of my videos and it helps me as well. So threads on. Let's get the eyes in. So these really are just to add a bit of weight. I'm using for this one bead chain eyes. These are quite large bead chain eyes. You can use dumbbells, the lead dumbbells. You can use the metal eyes. It's all depending on how deep, how quickly you want the fly to sink. I don't want this to sink too quick and too deep. I'm going to be fishing this in some fairly shallow water, so I want to be able to control the sink rate of this. And I do tend to like to fish a floating line most of the time when I can, unless I'm actually fishing in the gutways when you can use a fast intermediate. So this just allows me to control the descent of the fly a little bit better. So once we've got those wrapped in there, they're nice and secure, giving yourself plenty of room up here to finish everything off. Just going to bring that back up in front of the eye there, and I'm going to secure that with a little dab of super glue all the way through the tine of this. You should be putting a little dab of super glue here and there. It just helps when you're using these big hooks and this thread. Just having a little dab of super glue just stops things from slipping, just like that. That's all you need, and that'll just soak in and it stops everything from slipping about. It's something well worth having if you're going to be tying up any sort of amount of saltwater flies. Right, material for this, traditionally the Clouser Minnow is tied with bucktail. I'm going to use a slightly softer material. It's called Nayat or Nayat. I believe it's an Icelandic goat or an Icelandic sheep. And it's just a little bit more mobile than the bucktail, and I found it to give good movement in the water and just nice to tie with. So what I'm going to do is you only need 2 colours for this. We're going to do this in the original Clouser colour, so it's going to be white and chartreuse. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select out, not too big a pinch, not overdress this fly, I don't want to give it too much. I'm just going to select out a little pinch of that, and I'm going to want that to come over the back of the hook there. Yeah, something like that's going to do me actually, and that's going to be plenty. So just going to get in there and cut that off. Lovely. Pop that over there, and we're going to tie it in just in front of your eyes there, just getting a little bit of fluff out of the bottom of this. It's not as bad as bucktail actually for having wet fluff at the bottom of it. It's a little bit easier to work with, and then I'm just going to trap that in. That's lovely, brilliant. So that's that trapped in there at the front of the hook. Okay, and then I'm going to bring the thread back round behind the eyes and trap it in there, and then go down the body, just slightly open turns. Lovely. Yeah, that's perfect, that's great. Up to you if you want to put any flash on the body now. I'm going to put a little bit of flash in there just because I can. I'm going to take a little bit of silver mylar or pearl mylar or whatever you like. Okay, and I'm going to pop that in now. Just catch that in and then bring your thread all the way back up to in front of the eyes again. Okay, and again at this stage I'm just going to put a little dab of super glue just down the body there, and I'm going to wrap over the top of this, and it's just going to, it's not going to come out in one go, is it? About right. Come on. There we go, just a little dab of super glue just down there, and then I'm going to wrap up, just bring the mylar up, touch and turns all the way up the body. That super glue will seep through that nicely, and that will make that body bomb proof. My bass don't really have teeth as such, but I've got plenty of flounders on these as well, and they do have a set of jumpers. Plus it's just good for the longevity of the fly. So just bring that up in front of the eye there. I've given it a couple of turns there between the silver beads as well, just to make it tidy. Trap that in and cut it off. Lovely. Okay, a couple of bits of flash on this. So we're just going to get the crystal flash, and this is just a pearl. I'm just going to select one nice long piece like that. Okay, I'm going to half it, and then half it, find the middle of it like that, and offer it up one side. I'm going to tie it in underneath the eye. Alright, so I'm going to catch it in just underneath the eye here. So there we go, just loop on that, and the other side, loop in there. That's fine, lovely, that's me. Okay, easy, such an easy fly to tie. So I'm just going to open that loop up there, so that's all nice. And then we're going to turn the fly upside down in the vise, or you can just rotate your vise now. Because of the way I've got the camera set up, I'm just going to turn this whole thing upside down in the vise. It's as easy a way of doing it as anything else. And there we go. Okay, and then we're going to come in with our second material to go over the top, or what's going to be the top of the fly, and that is going to be this chartreuse. Again, the Nayat. So I'm going to just select a small hank of that. Yeah, I'm not looking for loads again. It's quite a slim fly. It's one of the beauties of this fly. It's quite slim, quite easy to cast. Sheds the water easily, and we're just going to match that up to the other, to your white as well. So I want it to be the same length. I don't want it to be any longer or any shorter. I want it to be the same length as that there. So there we go. That's matched up. Just cut that off. Such a successful pattern this is. It's just, I don't think there's any fish you wouldn't catch on this. I'm sure you catch trout on it if you ever give it a try. I've certainly caught plenty of perch and pike on this. Perch in particular seem to like this movement and the way this fish is, it bobs up and down. Right, let's hold that in there. That's great. Just catch that in, and then start building your head. Just getting everything nice and trapped in there. Build the head of the fly up. That's lovely. Twisted that out of the way so you can see that's better. And then we're just going to come in there and whip finish. Easy. Just whip finish that. Just turn it around. You can see how this comes together. Such a simple fly. It's this movement, it's this up and down movement. As you bring it back, bounce it over the sand, or just roly-poly it back. And it, honestly, it's a killer. Just going to finish off the top of this with a little bit of UV. I'm going to come in there and put a little drop of UV on there, just to make a nice, tidy head. You can vary this, of course, with colours as well. I just did this because it's the original, is the chartreuse. I do use these in light blue and grey and white. I always keep the white on the bottom, but I'll come over the top with a light blue, or come over the grey, because we get a lot of the bass feeding on a lot of small mackerel and smelt. This is a great smelt pattern, this colour. We also get them on the white bait and the sprat fly. There we go, just Give that a nice blast. That's all lovely. It's going nowhere. Bomb proof. And that is Clouser Minnow, which of course will fish that way round. When you fish it backwards, it's going to fish that way around there. Lovely, nice mobile pattern. I'll take that with me anywhere in the world. When we go abroad and I'm prospecting, doing a bit of DIY fishing around, and you've got all sorts to have a shot at, little trevallies and small tarpon and even bones and things like that. Chuck one of these on, and there's not a predatory fish in the world that won't have a look at one of them. I don't know what it is about them, but it's just brilliant. They look like a silver. They were originally tied up to be a silver side, I think that's what they call the silver sides. But yeah, there we go. Anyway, that was the Clouser Minnow. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click like, click subscribe. Any requests for tying pattern, anything to tie, just drop me a line down in the comments below. I'm also going to do some shrimp patterns and some other bits and pieces as well. So if you're interested in this sort of thing, and I love tying these patterns. I know I don't get to use them as much as I'd like, but they are enjoyable to tie. Thanks very much, folks. Speak to you soon. Bye.